This is Between the Lines, presented by Continental Diamond. I'm Tatum Everett alongside Ben Leber. And Ben, it's a little eerie of a situation out here because the last time the Vikings were in Paycor Stadium, they also fell 27-24 in overtime. That was 2 years ago, but we're here to talk about today's game. When the Vikings go to overtime against the Bengals, what were you thinking or observing on the sidelines at that point?
You know, it's funny. I mean, personally, I just felt like, all right, this is not how I expected us to win the game, but I had full expectations to win the game. I just thought that throughout the whole game, now it did seem like the Bengals offensively made some adjustments against our defense. They had more success, but ultimately, I'm like, we're the better team. You know, we're playing better. I think our defense is playing better, and I just had this really positive feeling that okay, not the place that we want to get to, but we're going to win this game. So it's kind of a complete shock that we didn't.
It was the first overtime of the year, and how we got there was a 14-point lead there heading into the fourth quarter for the Vikings until the defense allowed 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. What did you see in that quarter that maybe led to the downgrade? I don't really know how else to describe it.
Yeah, you know, I really think, you know, even I'll take the whole second half. You know, we know that we're a pressure-focused defense. We like to blitz. We wanted to get after Jake Brown, and we did a good job in the first half. They did a really good job of picking up our blitzes. You know, I don't think that they're really caught off guard. You know, we did have one free rusher, and Dye missed a free layup sack. All that said, I mean, it's still like a 2-yard gain, so not a big deal. But we didn't have a lot of opportunities when we pressured to get him on the ground, to force, you know, maybe some errors in the passing game. And that being said, when they did block us up, when you blitz, you have less guys in coverage. And I just felt like they really exploited, you know, some of our coverage aspects when you are going to blitz. And, you know, the touchdown that they had against Bynum, I mean, that's a tough throw. It's a tough coverage when the pressure doesn't get there. Then you get the one down here where he stretches his arm out. I mean, that's just a jump ball situation. We had a couple jump balls in this game. We had a jump ball against Denver that I really thought that, you know, we should have had a better play on the ball. So some of those things it's kind of head scratching. Like, why aren't we able to make better plays on the ball when the ball's hanging up there for so long? They make the play and we don't.
Is that something that they can work on at practice, or what does that come down to?
You know, I don't really think you can. You know, I can't imagine that they're going to set up the jugs machine against the secondary and say, hey guys, we're going to sky this thing up in the air like it's a punt, and then we're going to have you, you know, sort of locate it, high point it, and knock the ball down. I mean, it's a hard thing to drill. I think guys just have to be in the moment to focus on the ball and you know, and like I said, high point it and get the ball out before it hits the receiver's hands.
You did mention a little bit about pressure on Jake Browning. They were able to get 4 sacks today. Danielle Hunter with 2 of them. He now passes Jared Allen for 6th all-time in Vikings history for the amount of sacks he has in his career. He also passed his season total this year, his career total actually this year. So that was a bright spot. We'll talk about a few other bright spots, and one of them was Ty Chandler on the offense. Being able to see him run today, he was 132 yards on 23 carries and a touchdown. What did you like about his game?
I mean, I didn't like about his game. I mean, I love so much about his game. I mean,
it's fair.
We've seen him, you know, throughout the course of the season. When he gets his carries, he brings a lot of juice. He's very quick with his feet. But you know, when you become the bell cow guy and you're going to get a lot of carries against a defense that will get pretty porous against the run. I love the approach of running the football as much as we were with Ty. He gets vertical, and then when he gets vertical and gets downhill, he's picking up speed, but then when he makes the cuts, they're not always just lateral cuts. He cuts still at a 45-degree angle. He still cuts vertically, and I thought he did a great job with his vision of cutting very tight off the offensive lineman. So it's really hard for a defender when the guy is just sort of knifing and slithering through the line to get a real good beat on him. He had a great run over here where he bounced to the outside. Great scheme. All he had to do was beat one guy, and again, he attacks everything with speed. So then when he does cut, it's a full speed cut.
It's the most yards for a Vikings runner since December 9th, 2021.
Wow.
A performance like that, though, can help your offense become more balanced. What did you observe about this offense that maybe was a little bit different than what we're used to seeing from Kevin O'Connell and his play calling?
Well, clearly the play action pass was working. You know, that you get that run game going, you get that run game established, and the play action pass did work. Now, what we did, that I noticed in the second half was, you know, we weren't attacking so much in the outside the numbers in the first half, and I think they came out with the adjustment of like, all right, if they're going to manipulate their safeties and bring a different style of coverage, so really cloud up the middle of the field, then we're just not going to make that a read that Nick has to make. Let's have all of our throws go to the outside. So then if you miss on the outside and you miss wide, there's not an extra defender out there. You're not throwing into cloudy coverage. If it's an errant throw, it's probably incomplete. So it's a very safe throw as long as you can do it on time and you have the arm strength to get it out there. And I thought Nick did a great job with that in the second half. A lot of outside throws, you know, that intermediate 15 to 18 yards. We really exploited their defense. We just didn't do it enough.
No, not enough, but 303 yards in the day, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. How would you evaluate Nick Mullens' first start for the Vikings?
You know, I loved all of that except for the very end. You know, not really sure what he was thinking on that second red zone. I think it was just outside the red zone, but we'll call it a red zone interception. You know, those are mistakes that young quarterbacks make. You know, when you feel a little bit panicked and you feel like I can't take a sack here, maybe I'm going to try to make a play. You're going down and BJ Hill's basically got you wrapped up. There's no reason to try to throw that ball. And the thing is, into what? You know, who was around that he saw that he thought he was going to throw the ball to? The other one I'll live with. Look, you know,
it's an aggressive one, right?
It's an aggressive play. It's down the field. It was still a pretty good play by Hilton there to pick the ball off. I mean, he scraped the bottom of the turf to try to get that ball, and so it was still a good play. That second one though, that one is a head scratcher. But all that said and done, I thought he played really well. I thought he had really good command of the offense. You could see him moving guys around. He did a really good job of defensive identification, understanding, you know, where these blitzes are coming, when they're going to come, moving guys around to set up the best possible blocking scheme. So I thought he showed really good command of the offense.
Now, Ben, moving forward, there is a winter whiteout game just around the corner in this next 3-game stretch to end the regular season. Not only is it a 3-game stretch, they're all divisional matchups. What do the Vikings need to do? We'll go for just the first game out of the gate against the Lions. First time you see Detroit this season on Christmas Eve.
Well, do we have to keep talking about this every week? Turnovers.
Yeah.
You know, I know that we finished just -1 today because the defense did get a takeaway, but we cannot give the ball away. I mean, we're facing a really good Detroit Lions team. I know, you know, they might be in a little bit of a lull right now, maybe not playing at their best, but we know that we're going to get their best. They also know that they've got a huge stretch run here as well, so they're going to be playing with their hair on fire. So first and foremost, we have to take care of the football. And if we can get an offensive rushing performance like we did today, just the way that we were able to push that line of scrimmage, we need that physicality against a very, very physical defense in Detroit. That being said, take care of the ball, you know, use that play action, and then defensively, just keep doing what we're doing. I know that they picked up our blitz here in the second half, but we got to keep staying aggressive. Keep on the blitz. Goff is known to throw just some really wild-looking interceptions when he faces pressure. So let's have him throw a few of those to us.
I find it very interesting. The turnover thing is very much a theme of this season, and this week alone, with the 2 turnovers, they didn't score any points off of them. So the defense did their job there. But because of those turnovers, it stops the offensive momentum. And at the end of the day, I'm with you on that one. No turnovers, again, for this. That would be the 3rd game this year with no turnovers. Let's fingers cross that one.
Yeah.
But until then, please stick to Vikings.com, the Vikings app, for everything you need leading up into the winter whiteout game against the Lions on December 24th. That's a noon kick on Fox. Although here from Cincinnati, Ben Leber, Tatum, Everett, thanks for watching Between the Lines.